Hello and welcome to the Knitting with Cat Hair podcast. My name is Nikki and I'm coming to you from Sudbury, Ontario, Canada, where I live with my partner, our 2 daughters, and our 5 cats. You can find me on Instagram as Knitting with Cat Hair, as well as on Ravelry as Cat Hair Knitting. We also have a Ravelry group called the Knitting with Cat Hair podcast group, which is open to all members, so feel free to join. So anything that I talk about in this video can be found down below in the down bar. And I also have notes in the Ravelry group as well. So I hope everyone's doing well. Seems like things are moving in a good direction, I hope. I know here businesses are starting to open up a little bit more, so that's good. I'm still working from home. My partner is going to be working from home starting next week as well, so that'll be interesting. We have a really tiny home. It's like 800 square feet. So there's not a ton of space, but now that the weather's at least warmed up a little bit, it's nice that we can get outside and enjoy our yard. That's where I'm coming to you today. I'm filming outside. The lighting inside was just really terrible today because it's very overcast. I'm praying it doesn't rain on me. So there may be a little bit of background noise and I apologize for that. Lots of birds out today too, so hopefully that's not bothering you. I enjoy it myself. So anyways, let's jump right in. So I'll start off with what I'm wearing. This is my Comfort Fade Cardi, patterned by Andrea Mowry, Andrea Renee Knits. I did show it on my second episode, but I'll just really quickly go over the details. So I'll stand up, hopefully you can see it a little better. So I knit mine up in Madelintosh DK. This color is button jar blue. This color here is called Surf, and then the gray at the end is called Easy. So I did a 3-color fade. The pattern calls for a 4-color fade. So mine's a little bit smaller in the collar because I just did the 3 colors. So normally there'd be a 4th color and the collar would be a lot wider. So it's kind of cool construction because it is basically knit it inside out. So this is reverse stockinette. So you knit in the round, or you knit it flat. Is it flat? It must have been flat. You knit it flat and then you just turn it inside out to get the reverse stockinette. And then it has this lovely garter shawl collar, which I just think is so pretty. And my favorite detail is the sleeves and the fade at the end. I love that part. So it's actually cold enough that I need to be wearing this sweater right now, which is a little bit depressing for May. I know we live in Canada and I know a lot of people think that it's cold here all year round. It's not. We usually have, fairly warm summers, but for whatever reason this year, summer and even spring was just slow to arrive. I do see some buds on the trees, so that's good, and some of my spring flowers have come up, so that's nice too. But it's still a bit chilly, to say the least. Okay, so I forgot to welcome viewers. Welcome back to all returning viewers, and welcome to all new viewers. I'm sorry for my scatteredness today. To be fair, it's been a very crazy last couple of weeks. Work-wise, personal-wise, just nuts, just really crazy. And I'm really looking forward to some downtime this weekend with my family. And happy belated Mother's Day to all you mothers out there of human children, fur children, what be it. I hope you enjoyed your Sunday last weekend. Okay, so it will be a little bit of a lighter episode today. I don't have too much in the way of, I don't have any finished objects, and I haven't casted on anything new. I'm still waiting for my We Are Knitters order to arrive. I was really hoping to cast one of those tops on, but unfortunately it hasn't come yet. So I've been somewhat monogamous, I guess you could say. So I'll start with my daughter's So Faded Pint size. So I got the body done, and may notice, for those of you who have been watching my podcast, that the colors have changed now. It's purple at the bottom. And that's because my daughter, as 10-year-olds are apt to do, has changed her mind at the last minute and decided she didn't want blue anymore and she wanted purpley pink instead. So that's what we've done. So this is, as I mentioned, So Faded Pint size. This is a pattern by Andrea Mowry. So this is the children's version of the So Faded sweater, basically. So the colors I'm using are mostly leftovers. And this is Knit Picks Hawthorne in the colorway Poseidon. This is Hedgehog Fiber Skinny Singles in the colorway Fly. This is Hedgehog Fibers in the colorway Down by the River. This is Hedgehog Fibers in the colorway Heyday. And this is Hedgehog Fibers Sock in the colorway Hush. So yeah, if you can see all the colors there. My daughter loves it, so that's good. And I just need to get the sleeves done. I'm knitting this up on size, I believe it's size 3 for the body. No, size 4 needles. The original pattern calls for size 5. I went down a size because I'm a loose knitter, and I found that the last time I made this sweater for my daughter, it was just a little too loose. So I've gone down a size. And then I'm using a size 2 for the ribbing. Yeah. So this was a very quick knit. As I mentioned, it's been a while since I used speckles and did a fade, so I've been enjoying it. It's been going pretty quickly. And that is housed in my Jezebel bee bag. It's all the cat hair on it. Okay, next is the Felix pullover, and this is housed in my My Needle Crafts bag. I am knitting this up. I'm sure you guys are sick of me saying this, but for any new viewers, I'm knitting this up in Michelle's Baby Suri Roving, and it's a combination of 40% Baby Suri alpaca, 40% merino, and 20% silk, and it is a dream. It is so soft. It's a little bit different to knit with though, because it doesn't look like it's plied at all. There's no twist to it. So it's almost like just pieces of wool almost. I don't know, it's different, but it's turning out really nicely. So I was able to get the body done on my Felix pullover. This is the sweater here. I've tried it on. It fits. So that's always great. So this is where I was last time. There's my little progress keeper. So I did quite a bit. Bound off the bottom. Now I think it calls for, I think it was a tubular cast on and a tubular bind off. I didn't do them. Sheer laziness on my part, honestly. I have tried to do them before. I remember it being super fiddly, and I just didn't have the patience or the mind space to do it, so I didn't. And I'm okay with it. So the Felix pullover, is a pattern by Amy Christoffers, and this is kind of what makes this sweater special is the kind of the lace work or the eyelet work along the raglan decreases. Did I say decreases? I meant increases. I don't know where my brain's at today. Okay, so yeah, and I picked up the stitches for the, I guess it'd be the left arm. And I'm just starting to knit the arms now. Sleeve Island, here we come. I am knitting this up on, I think it's size US 8s. Just double check my needles here. Oh, goodness. Yes, US 8s 5mm. I mentioned before, but again, for new viewers, this yarn is a worsted weight. The pattern calls for Aran weight. So I knew it was going to knit up a bit smaller, and I did go down needle sizes to make a tighter gauge, tighter fabric. So I have gone up a size in the patterning to accommodate, and it has worked out beautifully. So there's not a ton of positive ease. I would say maybe on mine, there's like probably about 1 or 2 inches. It's not a lot. It's fairly fitted in the chest area. But it's fine on the on the stomach or whatever, because I'm more top heavy, let's say. But yeah, it's cute. I'm enjoying that. And there was one more thing I wanted to say about it, and I can't remember what it was. Okay. If I remember, I'll come back to it. I don't even know if there's any point showing this. This is my mill suite. I barely picked this thing up. But hopefully I'll get it done in time for some warmer weather. Looks like I have a bit of time, given the weather these days. So this is, oh dear, the mill suite. It's a tank top, sleeveless shirt, I guess. The pattern is by Sandy Rosner. It has this beautiful detailing around the neckline. This is my progress keeper. It's almost at the bottom. I literally did it looks like 3 or 4 rounds. Quite embarrassing. But for new viewers, I am knitting this up out of Sweet Georgia yarns, Flax and Silk Fine. And this is a combination of 65% silk, 35% linen. And this is the colorway Summer Skin. Isn't it beautiful? And I am alternating skeins, if you're wondering. I always alternate with hand-dyed yarns. I've seen what can happen when you don't alternate, so I always do. And that's housed in a bag that I picked up at Michael's. It's the dandelion bag. It was quite affordable. I think it was like $12 or $11 or something Canadian. Not bad. A little project bag. Okay, and then lastly, I know last episode, I showed my sieve socks, and I had finished the first one. I cast on for the second one, and this is all I have. Literally just cast on. Did a couple rounds of the ribbing. So I went back and had a look at the original, and I did make a mistake. Totally my fault, not the fault of the pattern. I put an extra repeat of the cabling. I don't know if you guys can see the cabling. I put an extra one here, which resulted in me having to decrease very quickly at the end. So, I'll have to do the same on the next sock, I guess. But I'm not bothered by it. It's still cute. There's nothing wrong with it. It fits. I've tried it on. It's nice. So, no problems. And I am knitting that out of Malabrigo sock. Oh goodness, I lost the tag. Oh, here we go. In the colorway 810 Cordovan. Do you hear the loons? That's cool. I'm not really near any water, so it's kind of cool to hear loons in the middle of the city. Hopefully you guys can hear that. That's awesome. Must be flying over. Yeah, so this is the cake. Just a dark brown with little bits of kind of a bronzy color in it. It's really pretty. I will say it's hard to work on when it starts getting dark out. I really prefer to work on it like in the midday or early morning when there's lots of light. I don't know if that's just because my eyes are crappy, I'm getting older, but yeah, so I can't work on this one kind of whenever I choose. It has to be a specific time. So it's slow going, plus it's cabling, so that's slow going, plus I have second sock syndrome right now, so that's causing me to be slower too. All these excuses. But I will get it done, I'm sure. Sooner than later. Forgot to mention they're housed in my Needlecrafts bag. They're a little bee drawstring bag. And she has a shop on Etsy. And I believe that is it for today in terms of knitting. Yeah, I don't know. In terms of life stuff, as I mentioned, things were a bit crazy over the past few weeks, specifically this past week. I had a job interview, so that's always stressful. So I spent a lot of time preparing for that, which was unfortunate because that's kind of how I spent my Mother's Day. Wasn't the greatest way to spend time, but had to be done. Fingers crossed I get the job. I'll find out next week. What else? Weather hasn't been very great. We had a whole bunch of snowfall on us. I'll probably put some pictures in at the beginning of this video so you'll see what I'm talking about. It made things look really pretty, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm over the snow. Honestly, I'm like, and by snow, I mean like a foot of snow. Like overnight, just woke up and it was full on winter. I could not believe it. So yeah, that sucked. The weather seems to be, I think it's starting to warm up. I have not had a chance to get my seedlings in the ground yet, just because we still have frost at night. I don't want to kill my vegetables, so the poor little things are getting really oversized for the egg carton that I used to plant them in. FYI, if you watch my video, my vlog, where I show myself planting vegetables, I just want to say this is the first time I've ever done it. I did no research. I don't know what I'm doing. And I planted things that I should not have planted, like to start. So for instance, carrots. I have since learned from my mother that you do not start carrot seedlings, you just plant them directly into the ground, which makes sense because they grow down, not up. So I don't know how they're faring. There's 2 robins in my backyard right now. I'm just looking. The pair bouncing around. We have lots of worms in our yard. So anyways, yeah, do not take lessons from me. I am not a professional gardener. So it'll be interesting to see how these turn out. My tomato plants are doing fantastic. I literally, during the pandemic, couldn't get seeds for a little while. So I was like, okay, I really want to start planting vegetables. I don't know how long this pandemic situation is going to last, and we have the space. I might as well plant some veggies. So I was eating a tomato, literally took the seeds out of the tomato, dried them, planted them, and they are doing great. I've also fed them some coffee grounds, which I hear are good for them. I don't know if that's helping, but yeah. So they're growing well, and I also planted a few red pepper plants from red pepper seeds that I got from a pepper I was eating. So yeah, don't always have to buy seeds if you have them. Have them on hand. We just don't often think of it. At least I don't. So looking forward to getting those in the ground at some point. What else? We were going to go for a hike today at the conservation area, but I don't know because it's pretty chilly and it looks like it's going to rain. And I just don't think that'll be fun. Kids aren't going to dig that. So we may hold off. I don't know what tomorrow looks like, but maybe it'll be warmer. And I think that's about it for our weekend plans. I'll probably do some knitting. I'm thinking of casting on for some dish towels and like washcloths for the kitchen. Oh, I have a few other things to talk about. So I think I mentioned on a past episode that firstly, we have a very tiny house. Secondly, we have an unfinished basement, which doesn't help because it's not super usable. Well, a little while ago, actually a year or two, oh goodness, my mom, while we were on a family vacation, my mom came over and installed a beautiful ceiling in one part of our unfinished basement, with the intention of that would eventually become my craft room. So she kind of started it off, and then we never really did much afterwards. And then that little room became a dumping ground for like everything, camping gear, just everything. It was just a disaster. So this past week, my partner, while I was working during the day, he was busy tidying up our basement. He had ordered some shelving and got things organized in the other, like in the rest of the basement area, and then was able to get all of that stuff out of my to-be craft room. So it's essentially empty now, except for the bins of yarn that I have. So it's kind of a fresh slate, and I'm getting excited about planning it out. Starting to look at, yesterday I was picking out furniture, potential furniture, rug, paint colors, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So that's been pretty exciting. And once I settle on a scheme, I guess, I'll place an order and get my stuff. But yeah, I think I'm going for it. So I have this giant basket chair that we've never been able to put up in our living room because our living room is literally tiny. I don't even know how big it is. If it's one couch and a rocking chair, that's it. It's tiny, and the couch is not a sectional. It's just like a couch. So yeah, we've never been able to use the basket chair. So it's in my soon-to-be craft room, and I cannot wait to use it. So I'm kind of basing things around that. And that was a present from my mom. Oh my goodness. A long time ago, before my daughter was born. Oh my gosh. So 10 years ago. And it's beautiful. It's from Pier 1. And so I'm kind of basing the aesthetic of my craft room around that piece of furniture. So it's kind of like boho / organic nature type. I don't know. We'll see how it turns out. But yeah, that's been fun. And then last night, on a total whim, I had been talking previously to my partner about the fact that I would love a swing in the backyard, that we could sit on and just like relax out in the sun, maybe knit on. Everything's about knitting, isn't it? So yeah, so he was looking up swings, and he called me over and he said, I found the perfect swing. And I'm like, oh, okay, thinking whatever, generic Walmart swing thing. No, he knows me so well. He found this gorgeous pergola that has like a wooden swing that attaches to it. And it is beautiful, beautiful. And it has trellis up the sides, so I can get like grapevines going or something, or clematis or something on the side. Oh, anyways, he ordered it for me. I'm so excited. It's not gonna be here for like months and months. I'll be lucky if I get to use it this summer. I think the estimated date is like the end of August or something. But I thought that was really sweet, and I'm looking forward to it and sitting on that swing with our family. Oh, so cute. Out in the sun with my knitting. Yeah, so yeah, that's about it for excitement around here. I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope I hope if you're one of those people who are going back to work and venturing out into the world again, I hope you're staying safe and healthy, and yeah, I wish everyone the best, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye!